pause this. All right. I just started. I was just about to start doing something cool, and Ronnie Boy left. But it's okay because I'm doing the intro, so he doesn't need to be here. All right, guys, here I go again. I was dope when I'm fresh and I'm gonna make a win. Only if I can't give again, waiting for a dividend. Like my name is Clayton Clark, scoring 3 points again. Only if I get an assist and I go. But now I'm not tired, now I go, no. But I ain't no Tyreek Hill getting pulled over. Only if I couldn't take it down like a soldier. Only if I get gone, yelling out songs, looking like I'm overwhelmed. But now I'm overcome with Ronnie Boy. Cause we be chilling, boy. I know what I'm doing with the joy in my heart, but I'm whipping up. Ain't afraid to give it up. If you really knew what I was gonna do, I tear it up. Multiple situations in my adoration ain't nothing but this nation when I'm tripping cause I go about to do instrumental and then we get it down. You got to break your boat and you're feeling it. Wow, when you're wearing my sincere, standing in my underwear, unaware of everything that makes it all clear. And dog, I can get it only if I can't spit it. I'm doping out of control, but now I can't cricket. But that's my game. Exhale, breathe, and go insane. I hope you have a great day. That's my intro. Now it's time to do the real one. Hey, anyways, only if I get it gone. You want me to write it like Bill Parmesan? And only if I can't say I go. But now I got to kick it forever by let 'em go.
Hey,
Are you looking for a different kind of podcast? How about informative and clean? It will make you laugh. Scout and Trey, yeah, that's what we do. We got a little funny thing, keeping it true. Hey, we take your topics and all your ideas and bring in a guest and we answer them there. Then we make a freestyle rap and do it for you. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. Yep, flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows to you, flows to you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows to you, flows to you.
See, now I got to do stuff too. I was hoping to get away before where everything busted out.
yeah.
So I was like, oh no, all my fans are on. And that is very loud, but it's very hot in here without my fans.
Mm,
Like I have a full room for this, but I have so much computer power going happening, it
yeah.
like melts this room in my face.
Oh, it's all good,
So,
man.
what's up, man? Thank you for being on the show again.
Chilling like a villain, man. Happy to be here. Happy to be a recurring guest on Flows for You, the
Hey,
only
man,
show to be on.
I appreciate that. It's so good. Soon, I'm not gonna be able to afford to have you on the show, but so I'm just gonna take it as many times as I can until your fees are crazy,
For sure.
until you Marlon Wayans fees, and I'm paying you 40 grand and 30% of all my royalties.
Hey, we might get there. So right now, here's some free 99 for you, my guy.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, man, I'm excited to have you on. I know you just released your new album, so I can't wait to talk to you about that. And you have a pretty busy things happening right now, so it's so cool. I guess my first question is, what is your favorite who's your favorite artist?
Wow, my favorite artist?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a really big question.
I know. I normally put it in the I just started putting it in the question queue
Yeah.
for the thing, but I literally put it in the day after you entered it in.
Oh, did you?
So, yeah.
Wow, my number one. I'm trying to think who I listen to often, man, because it's always all over the place, you
Yeah, me
know?
too.
It's J. Cole, it's Kendrick sometimes. It's if I'm in an R or a pop mood, it's Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake, it's Bruno Mars. If I want R&B, it's like, Boys to Men, anybody from the 90s, 2000s, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's
All
if
right.
if it's pop, Jason Mraz. Yes, sir.
I got a better question then. What was the album that just broke you? Like not in a bad way, but it was just like the first album you listened to 85 times. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Um,
That's
gosh,
a hard one.
it probably was it probably either a Jason Mraz album, We Sing, We Dance, We Steal Things. That one I had to listen to on repeat. And also it was also gosh, what was it was the J. Cole album and it was so good. Which one was it? Was it? Dang, I don't remember all of them. Forest Hills Drive was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a lot. There was a lot, dude.
Yeah, there's so many options. I remember I like I luckily have a really good answer for this,
Yeah.
which makes me happy. In that my first real album I listened to every single day was
Yeah.
Arrested Development.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
was their first album. I remember listening to it all the time, and I was like 10 or 11 um, when that came out, and so it was like, but I listened to it all the time.
Yeah.
And now I would be lying if I didn't say that I also listened to some Snow Informer when
Okay.
Snow's album came out. Do you know who Snow is?
I know the name. Yes.
He's like a white dude doing reggae music, and he's in
Oh,
Canada.
interesting.
And he was, now knowing reggae music, it is very bad.
Right.
But then, not knowing reggae music, I thought it was the coolest thing I ever heard.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
what you like, man.
yeah, and at that time, my variations were hip hop were MC Hammer and Snow.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know about hip hop yet
Yeah.
until I got into it and I watched it back. Like I think my cousin gave me a DOC record,
Yeah.
and then that's when I started going, oh, there's stuff other than the stuff that everybody else listens to.
Absolutely. All I knew was
Okay.
Eminem growing up, but then I think when I was in college, I was really listening to Tribe Called Quest and
Oh yes.
so many other underground hip hop and like all kinds of stuff, man.
Yeah, no, it's so fun how music shapes us and makes us into what we are. It was just like, I was just talking to you about your album, and you had your song "Time Out," where it's definitely a ode to New Edition and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like, obviously, that comes from your love for that genre of music. And honestly, that's your feel, anyways. Like, if it was up to you, that's the kind of music you'd be doing, right? Like, if you weren't doing kids music, you'd be doing the R&B,
Yeah, I mean,
love music.
absolutely. Before I even got into kids music, I released an EP in 2019 and it was pop, R&B, hip hop stuff. So, yeah, definitely an ode to to the legends and New Jack Swing. So, had to do Time Out, you know.
It was. I said it's a very good song. What doesn't help? It doesn't hurt that you have an awesome guy with you on it, and Uncle Jumbo,
Yes, sir.
who's the nicest fella. Meeting him in real life, it was just like I think he came and saw us at our rap booth and just sat down and just hung out with us. He like he was doing it, and he just did he just did something with Fuge, I think at the time, and but nicest guy.
That sounds very Uncle Jumbo like. He's really cool. Me, him, and Mr. Cookie Jar hung out together like I think a month and a half ago, something like that, and at the beach in Santa Monica and Venice, and we are just chilling and chopping it up, really getting to know each other. We know each other, but we don't talk like that much, and so
Know each other.
yeah, now we know each other and we like each other, so it's cool.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, was it was gonna say, yeah, no, he seems, Mr. Cookie Jar also seems like a pretty cool dude.
really cool guy, super cool.
Sorry, I'm reminding myself to put this. I'm sharing this to my people on Facebook. I totally forgot.
Okay, do your thing, man.
Um, but yeah, it's so cool that again, listening to the new record, it's just fun to see all your influences. And again, I don't know if I could say this out loud, but I'm gonna because I just can. I liked pizza because you were like, "Yo, burger worked. I'm just gonna do the same thing, but
Yeah.
pizza."
That,
I'm like,
that's
nice.
exactly what it was in the studio. Like my producer's like, well, we don't have to, if it ain't broke, what I mean, you got to fix it. So it's like, okay, well, let's just copy the same format. And so, funny thing, you even bring that up is my new music video to Pizza is dropping tomorrow on Wednesday, September 11th. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm here for, man. I'm here to promote your stuff.
Yes, sir.
But it's yeah. I said I listened to it, and I thought the same thing. I thought Baby Shark all day. It was like, dog. You know how many people have done a Baby Shark version, and nobody get tired. People don't get tired of that. They
Right.
just love what it is, and so it's like you're doing different content, and then I mean, dude, you add cute kids in something, you can just do the same thing over and over again. And
Facts.
then what was it? That girl, she's killing it, and I know she's in the video, so I think that's cool. Like,
I
is it
think
the same boy or is it
Yeah,
a different?
it's the same boy. It's my nephew, and so I think when you see the video tomorrow, you'll be like, "Oh my gosh, they're grown now." Because that was like 2 years ago,
Yeah,
like a year and a half ago when we dropped that song, 2022, I think. And so, yeah, man, they're grown now, at least a year and a half, 2 years older, and so it's pretty interesting to see them, and they even sound different too.
Yeah. Did you have to tone up their voices?
Nah. We let them do their thing, and
Okay.
yeah, and the video is really cool. Like you'll see, like if you like the burger video, I think you'll like the pizza video. There's more kids in it, like because some of them brought their homies, like their little friends and stuff from school, and it was just like a fun pizza party. That's how I look at it.
Was it now did this now that this is your third album, right? Am I
hmm
right on that?
hmm
Is your budget for music video the same, or has it gone up a little?
It's the same, my guy. We did spend a little more on the second album, like when we did Good Day, and yeah, but then like for the most part, it's the same, bro. Like I just get my camera or my friend's camera, and then I find either my brother-in-law or another, like maybe my producer, and they'll film whatever I tell them to do. Like, hey, stand there and then pan over here and pan over here, and then shake the camera a little bit, and like and they just do what I tell them to do, and that's how it gets done. So we're balling on a budget right now, and that's
Oh,
kind of how it's gonna be until I one day get like a studio deal with like a Nickelodeon or a Disney or something like that.
yeah.
So
I
for
was
now
gonna
we're
say,
just
I like
uh,
how you're thinking. You didn't even say like a music deal. You're like, no, I want a studio deal
yeah,
where I got my own TV show up in this
yeah,
mix. I'm
yeah,
not trying to play.
you know,
Um, what was it? I just shot a music video with one of our for one of our friends,
huh?
and but I laughed that I was like, uh, it was straight on a budget. It was literally me with a camera chasing my daughter around,
Mm.
and it was just like, but you know what? Sometimes those end up being the best looking things compared to like some insane budget. You know what I mean?
I think so. I think you'll see stuff that's like you could tell they put like 10 to 50 G's in a video, and nobody will really dig it. And I think over anything, the song just has to be really cool. It has to be good vibes, and concept has to be good. So you could have like really great concepts and not like the best equipment, but the concept is so good that people are going to tune in. And so it's kind of tough to call, but then again, like what I've realized is like content and quality over, content is king over anything really. You could have the best camera in the world, but if your song sucks, nobody's gonna listen to it.
Well, and the other trick is because you do more than just music videos, you already have you already have to do something that's more consistent to the page, right? Like you can't just do a bunch of like random videos and then do a music video that's totally a different budget. Then it just
Right,
wouldn't look the same on the pay on your YouTube channel, correct?
right.
So, um,
Yeah, man. I just do what I can with what I have, and
yeah.
if quality were to increase later on in the future, sure. Like I said earlier, but for now, it's just this is it.
Well, I was thinking about like Ryan's World. It's like you watch
Yeah,
the first original Ryan's Worlds, and
yeah,
honestly, more people I think watch those older ones because they're just more charming. But then I
yeah,
saw like the newest one, and it's like they have this super sick intro with like 3D renderings and them falling onto a couch, and I was just
yeah.
like, yeah, now they have a butt. Now they can just
Now
spend
they have a
budget
budget.
on whatever they want.
Hey, they make so much money over there, they could literally just throw away cash just because they feel like it. You know what I mean? So, cool. Good for them if they're coming up with it. I like keeping my format where it's just like simple and good vibes. And nothing crazy. I don't go crazy on my edits. I might put some flashes in there or some animations and stuff, but it's nothing I do is crazy. And I think. Like you said, kids find it charming and they appreciate it because sometimes I think kids watch my stuff and I want them to feel like they can do it too. That I'm not like on a pedestal, that I'm at the same level as them. And hey, if they have a song that, even if they don't have a song, but they just feel like making a video, they could do it because they see Ronnie Boy making like a video with his particular budget. And so, yeah, man, we trying to inspire out here, dude.
That's amazing. Well, and I think that there's a part of it as an artist, like you kind of, it's nice to have your hand in everything,
Yeah.
right? Like I was watching an interview with Matt Rife, and he was saying that he still actually edits his TikToks.
Oh, sweet.
Like this dude does a like has doing like he does like 40 shows a month, right? Like,
Yeah.
and they're all sold out, but this dude still has time to edit his TikToks.
Yeah, man.
But it's because he wants his hand in it because he doesn't trust anybody else
Yeah.
with that with the jokes or those kind
Yeah.
of things.
And that's how Matt has always operated, dude. He's like hardcore definition of like a hustler and stuff. We have mutual friends and stuff like that. So this is before he was
Sure.
Matt Rife, because yeah, out here in LA, a lot of us know each other and stuff. But yeah, that guy's been hustling for like a long time. So it's nice to see that his popularity his name has like increase exponentially and stuff like that, because you see where he came from and where he is now, you know.
Yeah, that's amazing, and I think it's but it's so cool. But it's, I mean, again, you're not doing too terrible for yourself right now with the channel and all the views and all the stuff. Like, you know, and with the new record,
Yeah.
how's that? Are you feeling more comfortable in the children's music scene now? I know when we were talking last time, is you were like still trying to figure it out, right? Like, cause this wasn't the dream, right? But now it's like it's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was like, yeah, I was still figuring things out, like you just said, with both the first and the second album. Like still very like I'll do whatever I want, but we'll just play with things. And I think for the third album, I actually had like direction where I was like, what worked in the first album? What worked in the second album? What do kids gravitate towards more? And so we found like a nice happy medium between the first two albums, and just made songs that we think that are personal to me and that we think like everybody would enjoy. And so, yeah, they're very proud of this third album of Ronnie Boy Land. I think, in all honesty, it's some of my best work, dude.
Yeah, no, it's as I said, it's really cool, in the idea of how a thing works in it, and it's funny because just as I was telling you about Time Out, like that was obviously a song you did for yourself,
Yeah,
and just made it kids music.
yeah.
So when I heard it, I was like, oh, this dude he was gonna do this song no matter what happened.
Totally, man. I only like, I'm in this zone now where like I'm not trying to think like what can I do that people would like. It's more like, above anything, like I'm gonna do what I want to do, what I like, and the hope is that people will like it as well, because you never really know. You could think, oh, this one's gonna be a banger, people are gonna be all over this, and then you drop it and they don't really vibe with it at all like you
Yeah,
thought was going to happen. And so, above anything, I have to like it myself. It just so happens that, a lot of people are starting to actually dig my stuff too, so it's like, yes, win-win for me right there,
well, when I was looking on Spotify, I saw that
Yeah.
your most played new song is "Family." And I
Yeah.
was like, I don't understand, because I was like, okay, I wonder what this is. And
Yeah.
then right when it starts playing with the piano, and I'm
Mm,
just like, oh, this is a personal song. But at
yeah.
the same time, and then the dude you have on there jams,
Yeah.
and
Jeremy Passion, he's the man, dude.
I was like, wow, this, like, if that song doesn't feel like a kid's song, if I mean just because of the production sound of it, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It feels just like an awesome song. So it's like that's a song that kind of reminds me of like you just being you.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Am I totally messing that one up?
No, that's totally. I think when I first started showing it to people, they were like, they basically, our goal with my producers, they wanted to find, because Jeremy Passion is very R&B, and then whereas I am like kind of a mixture of everything, pop, R&B, hip hop kind of thing. And so my producers definitely wanted to find something that would fit both of our styles. And so um I think when I first started showing it to people, they're like, wow, this totally sounds like a song that both of y'all could be on. And I was like, perfect, because that's exactly what we were going for. And I'm so happy that it came out the way it did, because I like it. And also, like, that song actually is what got me to be like the face of Spotify's new kids music editorial playlist. So like about 2 weeks ago, I think a week or two ago, I was literally the face of it. So if you click on new
I
kids
remember
music
that.
on
Yeah.
Spotify, I was the icon, and the first track was Family.
Oh, that's great. So that's why you got all the views.
Yeah, I
So
mean, yeah, definitely help. Even without that, I just firmly believe that the song is really dope. And also,
yeah, it's very good.
Jeremy's following is really big too. He has 1.4 million monthly listeners, and so people are going to listen to regardless. His fans, my fans, every fan. And so, yeah, we made something dope. A little Family Matters type of joint.
I remember my first album I ever did. I got my favorite rapper. His name's Pigeon John,
Mhm.
and he lives out in L.A. And I got him on the record just for that purpose,
Mm.
because I, as a Pigeon John fan, knew that if you're a Pigeon John fan, you listen to wherever he's on.
Yeah,
And so I got so many downloads just because of that one song. Which
sweet.
cost at that time, I think I paid him $1,000 to be on the
Wow.
song, and
Yeah,
that was my entire budget for the album.
yeah, man.
I
You know,
didn't care. I was like,
yeah.
I'm doing this.
Hey, I mean, it seems like it worked out if you got that many downloads. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh yeah,
Yeah, who you surround yourself with is important. I think like especially with this new album, I didn't, my previous albums, I didn't really have any features, any collabs, because I was kind of like on some J. Cole stuff where I was like, I
Sure.
don't need any features. I just do things the way I do them, and but this time, like, it was Mr. Cookie Jar and Little Miss Ann from Chicago who hit me
Little
up
Miss
to.
Ann is the dopest. She's so
Yeah,
nice.
they asked me to be on 2 songs, on Jump Into the Water with Susie Shelton also, and then Calamansi Twist, which is a Filipino
Mhm.
fruit that we made a song about. And after that, I was like, oh, collabing is actually pretty fun. I kind of dig it, and so kind of changed my whole mentality on the concept of collabing. And that's why, like, on this album, I have a lot. It's Jeremy Passion, Uncle Jumbo, Davey and Peter from New York, DJ Willie Wow, and also Mega Ran. And my joint with Mega Ran, Sticks and Stones, that actually was the first song of mine that got on this Spotify editorial playlist, the New Kids Music. It wasn't the cover, but it was like the third song under like John Legend, like just a few weeks ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And as I said this to you earlier before, I'm taking credit for this.
Yeah, man.
By 1% of credit
I'll
that I
give you
chose
that.
that song.
I'll
I'll
give
take
you
it
hey.
because I got to introduce him to Mega Ran, so I'll take. But I definitely wouldn't have thought that you were gonna just call him up and be like, "Yo, bro, be on the
Yeah.
song or else."
Yeah, that's I don't really care. I talk to anybody, anyone and everyone, and I've always been this way since I was
Yeah,
like, younger and stuff. And so if I like someone, if I respect them, I'm gonna hit them up and I'm gonna tell them why I respect them, kind of thing. And if if I feel like collabing with them, like, 'cause I don't collab with anybody, but if I want to collab with them, I'll mention it. And if they say no, that sucks. But if they say cool, cool, you know what I'm saying? So it's all good.
Now, was there anybody that you wanted to collab with, and maybe they just didn't work out? Where like,
No, everybody on this entire album, out of the 5 collabos I have, out of the 14 tracks, was down to collab with me. If anything, I thought maybe Jeremy Passion might not be down. And it's strictly because, like, he's very, like, well known, like,
mhm,
in the Asian American and especially in the Filipino community. Like I said, he has over 1.4 million monthly listeners. He's been
sure,
putting in work for 20 years. And I'm this new Ronnie Boy Kids who's put out, I'm on my 3rd album within the past 2 years, but I'm relatively new,
mhm,
compared to everyone else who's been doing this 10, 15 years. And so, no, fortunately, his kids are fans of mine, and they've
nice.
been fans for over like 2 years now. And so, we made the track, we presented it to him, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, yes,
That's so
because,
cool. Was
again,
he like
I'm
on the top
this
of your
compared to
list?
him, you
Was
know?
he like the top of your list?
Yeah, he definitely was number 1 on the list. So I think we probably worked on that song. That was like maybe the 4th track out of the 14 that we were working on for this album. And my producer was like, yo, let's holler at some people that we know. Cause we've known each other for like maybe 15 years, but then
Sure.
we weren't that close, you know what I mean? And so yeah. So fortunately, like I said, he was down, and he's honestly one of the nicest guys you could ever meet in your life. He's so cool.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, so he did a lot for me. I owe him a lot.
I always laugh when you can't be afraid to just put yourself out there and ask. So I
Yeah,
always laugh when crazy things like that happen. You're like, I know 3 years ago you weren't thinking that one day you're gonna have a song with Jeremy Passions,
yeah.
right? That wasn't like your thing that you thought that was gonna happen.
No, so when it happened, it was like a dream come true.
Sure,
Yeah,
because he's like a superstar. So
big time.
yeah,
Every Filipino knows him, bro. He's huge. So I was like, wow, he's down to do a track with me, crazy. And then it just so turned out to be a dope track, and then it got me
yeah.
playlisted. You
I
know.
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's my favorite song,
Mhm.
but also there's that because I like Sticks and Stones a lot.
Yeah,
And so it's kind of like it kind of moves around on it, but that's a very cool track.
yeah,
And so that is very awesome. So
yeah, yeah.
now normally I've asked like three move towards the song, but I'm talking to you, so I'm just going to talk to you how I want to talk to you. Guess what? I'm the only one on the show. I get to do what I want.
Yes, sir. Let's
Um,
go.
but we are going to do a silly song at the end of this.
Okay.
And so my question is what do you think our big idea for the song should be? What's our big idea? What do you think?
Oh, for the song that you're about to make,
Yeah. What should it be about? We're
I
gonna brainstorm. I'll help you out. We'll come up with some ideas.
okay. So you mentioned Time Out earlier because you dig the track.
Hmm.
I think it should be about getting in trouble, and what
So
you learned.
now will it be a full story about how I got in trouble,
Yeah.
or is it just in general people that get in trouble?
Nah, I want to hear a personal story to scout, like,
All right.
even if it was something from when you were a kid or even when you're an adult, like, think of something where you're like, dang, why'd
I
I
have
do
heaps,
that?
dude. I get in trouble all the time.
Hey, so you have a lot to choose from.
Yeah. All right. So when I got in trouble. Now, do we want a very funny story of when I got in trouble, or do we want a
Yeah,
very
why not? Why
serious,
not?
or the one time I got arrested?
Ooh. I don't know if we want to reveal that right now, but unless you're fine with it,
No,
but
no, no. That story is funny, but I'm not gonna do that as a song.
okay.
But
Let
what was it? My little brother. This
yeah.
was like when I was in my 20s. My little brother was truant, and I went to go pick him up, and he made the cops so mad that they checked my ID just for picking him up, and I had an insurance thing that I didn't have,
Oh,
and so I had to spend the night in the thing, and they came and got me, and I was just like, "That's crazy! I didn't even do anything." But
wow.
my brother made the cops very mad, and they couldn't do anything because he was a teenager,
Yeah.
and so he was just talking smack to them, and I'm the one stuck picking him up, and next thing I know, I spent the night in jail.
Dang. Street cred just went up for not doing anything.
Look, there's nobody in the thing. I had to call like my mom and be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
mom, our car's not coming home, so um, I think they had to go pick it up." Anyways,
Right.
not the story that we're gonna use for the song. You know what? It could be funny.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? So, all right. So, all right. Do you want to be surprised, or do you want me to tell you the story now?
I kind of want to be surprised, man.
Okay. All right. So, because we're gonna talk about the hook, and so we need to come up with but we can do a hook that doesn't exactly tell the story, right? Like that, just kind of, he got in trouble or something
Yeah.
like that. All right. And so it's interesting. So, it's so funny how things work sometimes when you get in trouble or you're afraid of that.
Mhm.
And so all right. So I getting in trouble. All right. So we've already talked about the album already. But do you have do you have a big grand plan for this record?
Um,
Like,
Not really. I'm just like I was just talking to my friend Dana, from Children's Music Network.
she's
And she was just kind of, she was just complimenting me on everything like I've been doing lately. And she's like, you're just as successful, if not more, than anyone in the children's industry right now, like with everything you've been accomplishing. And just giving me like a lot of praise, and it just felt good. And then I told her, like, I honestly don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just like putting stuff out there, and it just so happens that a lot of things are happening for me right now, like I mean, I have overall goals like anyone else would. Like, I want to, like I said earlier, I want to work with a Disney Junior, a Nickelodeon, or whatever, and develop a show around Ronnie Boy. But then, like, I haven't really put the pieces together to make that happen yet. So right now I'm just kind of building my brand and putting stuff out there, making music videos and doing whatever I feel like, really. And then we'll see what kind of happens. So I don't really have anything specific right now. It's just, you know,
Yeah, well, it's interesting, especially as children's music. You can kind of, and I think I said this last time. You can kind of get on a cycle where
yeah,
you're making sure you're releasing just in time to be considered for the Grammys. So
yeah,
it's like you can almost get in a cycle where you have to just release a record every year,
yeah,
so you can get. See, maybe that could work out. And
yeah,
it's like Saul Paul, he consistently releases a record,
right,
or is on somebody's thing. Like, I don't think there's a year where he hasn't been in consideration.
right,
for
yeah. I think,
so
yeah, everything that happened to me recently wasn't like on purpose. It was like, it just so happened that the pieces like fit at the right time. Like, I have a show, like, it's
I was
mainly
about
like
to
my
ask you
chat.
about that. Yeah.
Yes, I have a show in the Philippines that airs every Thursday, globally, to everybody who's subscribed to the Filipino channel on ABS-CBN, which is the biggest network in the Philippines. They're like, think of like an NBC or a CNN of the Philippines. Like, so every Thursday they play like a music video or one of my vlogs or a book read or whatever. That's something that we were talking about for like 3-4 months. Like, and we finished the contracts and sending the video and doing all this other, promo stuff and things like that. And then it happened. As far as like getting playlisted on Spotify editorial, I didn't know that was gonna happen. It just happened, and it happened like days before my album dropped. And I was like, "What the heck? This is the best promo ever for my album. Literally the best. It doesn't get better than that. That you get that you're number one, the first track on this new kids Spotify editorial playlist. My album drops like 3 days later. You know what I mean? My show is popping right now. I get featured on YouTube Kids, the app, like every
Yeah.
time I release a music video, and so it's like." Like I didn't know any of this was gonna happen. It just like happened, and it happened at the right time. And then I dropped the album, and then now we're in consideration for the Grammy, because the deadline was August 30th. And so it's like, wow, this is all like lining up perfectly for me,
That's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
it's so fun. Like as I see all those things happen, I just cheer in my head because I'm just like, it's always cool to see good people be successful, especially if you know them. Like if they're like people that like make you smile when you meet them. Like you want them to be successful,
Oh.
And it's like, have you now? Do you consistently go back to the Philippines?
I have not been back in like 20 years. I was really young when I went. But yeah, I do want to go back eventually. Now that I do have my weekly show there, like I don't
Yeah.
know, if I start popping enough there, maybe they'll bring me out there, and I'm totally down to perform. I probably wouldn't live there, but I would definitely do some shows if there was, a big enough audience for me out there for sure.
So the whole point of asking that was like, could you imagine being in the Philippines and then you see your show on TV?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It'd be cool. It's different. It feels pretty cool just to know that, like,
It exists.
yeah, because I've been an actor for like a decade now, probably more seriously the past 8 years, and so I've seen myself on TV a lot, like out here in America, from all the shows I've acted on in commercials and stuff. But when it was my music, like Ronnie Boy stuff, that's playing on this big network, it's just like, wow, this is so personal to me because this is my stuff. This is songs I wrote that I worked on with my producers, and it's playing on a network that's accessed globally. It's insane. It means it's much more meaningful than me acting on a television show, honestly.
Well, because it's your
It's
heart
my
and your
baby.
mind. It's like, and then it's like you're representing your thing. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And that's so cool. Like the idea of seeing the things that you're doing. Oh yeah, and then the YouTube thing. That's pretty awesome. And I like when the first time it happened, you were like, "This is cool," and now you're like, "Eh." Anytime I release a song, I'm gonna
It's
get featured. It's what
it's
happens.
it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I talked about this on a other podcast interview, like about like less like maybe like 3 weeks ago, how like every view like still matters a lot to me, even though like I get like thousands on like either Spotify or Pandora or my YouTube and stuff. Like it still blows my mind, even though it's like normal now, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Like it's like when you first started, you were just like, "Hey, I'm gonna try this thing," and then now
Yeah.
it's like, "Oh, I tried this thing and it worked out."
Yeah.
And especially, I bet that's weird because as an actor, right? Like you throw yourself out there a zillion times, and there's so much rejection.
Yeah.
And then with music, it's like you just did a thing and then it just kind of worked out.
Yeah.
Is that a weird feeling? Like, because being an actor, trying to do all that stuff, it's like
Yeah.
you kind of get used to rejection.
Yeah.
You get used to it, and like you even did music before this,
Mhm.
but it just didn't. It just didn't do what it's doing.
It didn't pop the way I hoped it would, but yeah, I mean, it feels really good, honestly. It feels really freaking good, and it's because with acting, you're kind of just given your scripts, and then you audition, and then sometimes you book things, but most of the time you don't. And that's just how it is. It doesn't matter how good you are. You're just gonna get rejections most of the time. And so, again, those are someone else's words, and it's cool because maybe it's a show that you really like, and then you want to be on, And but again, like it isn't music. It isn't my stuff. It isn't my baby. It's someone else's baby, and I'm just contributing to their vision. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was weird just getting buzz for my music, and it was so much more satisfied getting buzz with my music than it would be like acting gigs. I'm still like very grateful. I still am passionate about acting too, but it just hits different, as they say. Yeah.
No, it totally makes sense, and so it's so cool to see it happening, see you doing the thing.
Yeah.
So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna choose a beat for
Okay.
this silly song I'm gonna do about me getting in trouble. Which again, I don't have anything yet. You
That's
think
okay.
that I would be ready to go with this idea, but I don't. But I'm gonna figure it out.
Okay.
Well, let me see here. All right, and share with music, and then we'll go. You don't really need to see this, so I don't need to pop it up. But yeah,
Nope.
wasn't that Incredibox cool? Like it's a game that you can download,
Yeah,
and it has like 10 songs that they actually did tons of parts for, and then you get to choose the parts that come out. Uh,
I
I
dig it.
miss I miss having my own personal beatboxer, so
Yeah,
I needed to get that going.
right.
That's one of my favorite things about when I do ACL,
Mm,
Austin City Limits in Austin,
right.
which is a big festival. The cool part is I get to I get to bring in my own beatboxers um,
Sweet.
to perform with me. Now the fun part is they're my friends. So as we're walking around the festival in the
Hmm.
back in the green room and all that stuff, I literally have my own personal beatboxer. So we just rap whenever we want.
Hey,
It's great.
that's how you got to do it, man.
So that is fun. Now, normally I just show people songs, but I know you enough to know that when I tell you these names, it's probably going to help you decide which three you want to listen to.
Sure.
So I'm going to give you some names to songs. We got New Groove. Let's see. This one is called New Groove Disco. 88. We got Sinead's Groove.
Okay.
We got Cautionary Tale. We got Jamie's Song. I'm telling you these names. Think of three that you like, and then we'll listen to them.
Let's go to Sinead's Grooves.
Sinead's Groove. See, you
Yes,
can
sir.
read it, and I can't. All right, so here's our first option. Let me burn that music down. You're gonna like these.
I might get it in my mouth, but I'm trying to sing. I might get it in my mouth, but I'm trying to
Oh yeah,
That
I
one's
like
good.
that one a lot.
So that's still Sinead's Groove.
Oh, okay, that was dope
Um,
too.
yeah, so that was as it builds because it builds for a little bit. So that'd be like the chorus. We got Cautionary Tale. We got Jamie's Song. We got Comprehende Part 2. Boogie Brute. Slap 70. Nice. Chase the Sea. Nothing Else. Cisco Vibin. Cool Out and Listen. Soulback and Neilized is some of them. Let's see. And then we got Hedge. Is this one? Any ideas?
Honestly, I was really digging that first joint and also the second one. So whatever you want to do, man.
No, it's up to you. That's all the same song. So the answer is we're going to do this one. So there you go. Now, the cool thing about beats, do you want to listen to it for one more time just to make sure you feel good about it?
No, I feel good about it, bro. I just want to hear what you're gonna do with it, because I was hearing a story in my head, you know what I'm saying? So I want to see what you're gonna do, man.
So, all right. So one cool thing about beats is that they are the foundation. And we talked about this a little last time and this time. What do you feel like is the foundation of Ronnie Boy Kids? Like, what keeps you going doing this and not just automatically moving to a different thing? Going, hey, I'm successful here. I should try something else now.
I think just the freedom of expression. And that was something I wanted to do from the jump, from when I first started, when I did my first album 2 years ago. It was, let's go do what we want to do. And let's be kids with it and just have fun. And hopefully people dig it. And if they don't, that's okay. We'll just keep being us. And eventually somebody out there will understand what exactly we're doing,
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome, man. And I think it's a cool thing in that building that foundation. Like, again, having a dope beat to a song, as you even said, it was like when you did the family track, it was like you needed to have a beat that worked for both of y'all.
Yeah.
And that is cool. And so having that kind of, I get to do this, I get to be me in a different light, that's pretty cool in the foundation of it. So
Yeah. And I think one of the coolest comments I get from people when they do listen to the new album is they say, like, this whole album sounds like you. Like you might be doing different genres here and there. Like I got an acapella joint, I got a couple hip hop ones, I got the pop ones, I got a cowboy, a country song on it. But they said even though you're doing like different genres, every single song sounds like a Ronnie Boy track. And I'm like, yes. So I'm like all over. You could feel my heart all over each track,
That's amazing, and I think
Yeah.
it's important to like feel you. It's like how many times we tell kids and everybody else you need to be you. You don't
Yeah.
need to be what other people think. So easily, especially in music, you can go, well, what is hot? What's hot right now? Let me do that. 'Cause
Yeah.
that will work.
Yeah.
The truth is, if you do you, that's
Yeah.
gonna work.
Yeah.
And you're learning that, right?
Yeah, totally. And if you did want to find a hot track that's like trending right now, as long as you could apply yourself and be yourself within that track within those parameters, then it's like even better. But the last track on my album is actually called Be Me. And it's all about like my whole thing about how this whole album is just all me. Take it or leave it. If you like it, cool. If you hate it, that's totally cool too. I don't care. Like I'm just being me. That's it. Period.
That's where I was drawing the inspiration for that question for him.
Oh, sweet. I answered it already, man.
But yeah, that's so cool. Now one thing I do have to, I'll ask you this when we go to the hook.
Yeah.
Because it will help our thing. But it's my funny question of the day. But yeah, so there you go. Now what we got to do is we got to do the hook. Let's see, this got it ready to go. What's that? What's the hook? As I tell people sometimes, it's like they're like, "What's a hook?" I think last week I had to explain what a hook was. I was like, "It's called a chorus." So you know what a chorus is? Oh yes, okay, yes, it's that. All right, so I think to inspire a hook, and you have to actually think more candidly. You have to think more smartly than me. Of course, so tell me a Ronnie Boy Gets in Trouble story.
Oh gosh, dang! I don't know. You was gonna ask me a personal story.
You're making me do the song. I'm trying to inspire a chorus. You know what I'm saying? So if we can use your inspiration to help it, and because you can put me on the spot without me putting you on the spot. I'm the interviewer, not you.
That's true. Very true. You know what, dude? I was trying to think about this the other day. Is for the most part, growing up, I've always been a pretty good kid. I didn't always necessarily surround myself with the best influences. But I still was always a good kid at heart. If I think about something where I kind of got in trouble, but it wasn't really that bad, but it was a little bad, was probably when I was like 9 or maybe 8 or 9, I think. I was with my older brother, who I usually got in trouble with. And our next door, I don't know what we were thinking, but whenever cars would pass by on our street, like we got these rocks and we were trying to chuck them over the cars, and it's not that hard because it's the rock. You could easily throw it in the sky and the cars will pass by it. But then there was this one car coming at us and then it turned a little bit and then I don't know if it was my rock or my brother's, but we threw it and it landed on top of the car. And it turned out that car was our next door neighbor. And so she parked and then she came and then we ran when we heard the rocks hitting her car. But then we hear a doorbell and sure enough, it's our next door neighbor, Betty. And we get in trouble because we were throwing rocks and we hit her car.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the same way, right? Like, so, like in general, I always try to stay out of trouble. Like, I was always the good kid, right? Like, I still had my issues, but in general, I always try to stay out of trouble. And because I just don't like getting in trouble, right?
Yeah.
So it's so funny how that works. It's like,
yeah.
So, all right, so we need a chorus for this song. You were talking about how you get in trouble. Any ideas for the chorus of this song without me spilling the secret story that you're going to be surprised with?
You could just talk about how you did something crazy and you didn't know the consequences kind of thing,
Oh, so let's say, we need to listen to that track again so we can be inspired. For
Yeah.
Let me get that back up. Yeah, I laugh that he gave me these beats. I'm like, this is way too cool sounding beats for me to just use for the freestyle funny songs. But
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I get it in my mouth,
I could
John.
definitely hear like a cool intro, like sometimes you get in trouble when you don't even know you're gonna get in trouble. It's like you're just being human.
I get it in my mouth, John. I'm trying to
You don't sticks his hands to people. Now I'm just reading off your playlist.
There you go.
Especially if you like stuff like Space Age, I just made this theme intro when I sang this.
I get it in my mouth, so I'm trying to
Let's see what happens.
It's a little tough to hear you over the music. I don't know if it's like that if it's happening like that for everybody else or if it's just me.
It's me and you. I have How about that? All right.
Much better.
All right, cool. I learned this last week where I had a thing and then it sounded terrible. So I'm waiting for the chorus. But yeah, I can definitely feel this is a story.
Like Time Out remix, The Darker Side.
What's that? I'm not leaving. It's dark outside.
Yeah, no, I said this is like the Time Out remix, but it's the darker version of it.
Yeah.
Than what's on my
Oh, here
album.
it is. I got in trouble. I'm not really sure what I did. I got in trouble, but then I got away from a kid. I got in trouble. What could I really say? I got in trouble. This is like my everyday. Oh, guess who's out? Time out. Guess who's in the corner again? I run about. Guess who's in trouble again? Any ideas? Oh, I lost you somehow.
My bad. Is that ideas as far as what, the hook or just more storyline?
The hook.
Consequences.
Consequences. Inconsequential. Consequences. Consequences.
Because I almost feel like you were starting with the hook, talking about how you got in trouble and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah. Oh, I was. That was my idea. But then I thought after I showed you my idea, then I would get more ideas from you to see if I can make it any better.
Yeah. Learning from your mistakes, man. Like I said, this is exactly what Time Out is about, but it's just someone else's spin on it, aka yours. So, because I wanted to hear how you would do the song if it was you on the album. Right?
Sure. So I got in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
What do? I got in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew that this happened to you? Got in trouble. So many days I never go. Then I got a dream like I'm thinking I flow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny. I remember I wrote one of my first songs I ever wrote was called The Picture. And the idea of it was, and this is before all the people did songs like that. But the idea was like in the picture, everything's happy, but it's like terrible. That's actually happened around the picture. And so this is about how like my life fell apart.
Yeah.
But the picture is me smiling, and but how my life fell apart. And so I think of that in this when you think about consequences and those kind of things.
Yeah.
I got in trouble, but who knew it changed my life? I got in trouble.
Yeah.
Only if I seen the light. I got in trouble, but now I'm a different man. I got in trouble, but this is that story playing.
Yeah.
Like that?
That's exactly where I was hoping you were going to take it in this freestyle, man. Like, and that's the whole thing. The whole thing about the song Time Out in general is just really like owning up to your mistakes and then learning from it so you don't do the same mistakes again, you know? So you take away a lot from your mistakes, really, you know? Okay. But that was good though.
Thanks. And then I'm trying to still think of a good story, so I'm stalling at the moment so I can get it. So, you know, the thing about the chorus is the thing you want people to remember about the song, right? And like, you know this, like you get pizza. The whole point is that's the point of the song, or burger. Obviously, you want people to remember that the song is about burgers.
Yeah.
So when you think about Ronnie Boy Land, you think about this third album, what do you want people to go away with? Not only the album, just but where you're at right now with your career. What do you want people to remember?
Wow.
I know I'm more in depth now with my fancy questions.
I know. I'm like, yo, I didn't realize it was gonna be like this. I think I want people to remember that, or to learn that Ronnie Boy isn't perfect, that Ronnie Boy is flawed just like anyone else. But I'm doing what I can and taking like everything I've maybe messed up with or a wrong decision, and I'm doing something with it versus just sitting in it, you know? So anything could be fixed. Any goal could be achieved because your current situation isn't your end all situation. And so yeah, I'm hoping people find inspiration from it. You know, Sticks and Stones, like that's about and negative and internet culture and not taking it to heart. You know what I mean? And just keep on doing you. You know, much like Be Me. My song "I'm Bored" is about how boredom isn't necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes people do think it is. If they're bored, then they have nothing going on with their lives. But it's really like, no, use that as an opportunity to think about what you can do, and then go for it, and or at least take the steps to move towards it. You know, so it's like you could do anything with your time, and hopefully you make good use of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Uh, I- and that's a great thought process. Now, we're expecting to release two more albums in the next year and a half? Is that
I don't know, man. We were in the studio for literally the past 13, 14 weeks, and
sure?
like we're gonna pump the brakes a little bit on doing music, and I'm just gonna focus on putting out my music videos, hopefully, and kind of go from there. So it's kind of crazy that this was the third album that we did in literally 2 years, because the first album dropped 2022
Mhm.
September, the second one August, and this is the third one in on August 28th was when we dropped it. And so yeah, that's 37 tracks we did in like 2 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And
man. So, yeah.
that's the cool part about with what you do and with your channel is at least you have 14 music videos you have time to do, right? Like,
Yeah.
will you do a music video for every song on the album this year, or you're not
I,
going to do
I
that?
want to. I don't think I will. Like I want to. I'm gonna do a track for Fly. Pizza's coming out tomorrow. Best Friend. I'm working on it already. Family is tough because my buddy Jeremy Passion he lives out of state now. Time Out, Uncle Jumbo also lives out of state. All my collabos, everyone lives out of state. But it doesn't mean we can't work together. Like even with Davey and Peter, who are in New York, we did a track on their brand new album, and it's called Sweet Tooth. And I already just filmed green screen my stuff like right next to me, just like 2 days ago, and I sent it to them. And so yeah, we're gonna drop that. But like some of it, like I don't know if I want a music video to, because maybe it's a little too personal. Like my song Heaven, which is a song about loss, and it's not just for kids, it's also for adults as well, but it's written from a kid's perspective. I don't know what I would do with that track, you know what I mean? Because it's so like, it's a song about loss and grief, bro. So it's like I don't know if I want to do a video for that one.
Yeah. Well, what is it? Now the cool thing is that, and here's a free one for you,
Yeah,
is that like with family, you literally that wouldn't even be a problem if you shot it in different places, right?
yeah,
Because you could shoot it with his family and then you could shoot it with your family,
for
and
sure.
so like in that situation, that could kind of work because it kind of mixes itself.
Yeah,
But it's
I
always so
agree.
interesting how you do those things. But again, you also have to think about it be consistent with the channel. So that's also important to do.
Yeah,
Like you can't just be like, oh, and now here's my artsy 1970s motif for family.
yeah,
Enjoy,
yeah,
children.
yeah. So it's yeah. I mean, definitely for the fun ones, we're putting videos out for like Pizza and Best Friend. But we'll definitely do more. I might have some more animated stuff, like an animated Ronnie Boy, like I did with some of my previous music videos, like my music video to 8. There's an animated Ronnie Boy in there running around, and so maybe we'll do that with Power to Learn, which is another hip hop joint. I don't know if you heard that one on the album, but it's pretty cool. And yeah, so we'll see, man.
That's awesome. Now, where can people find you, get your stuff, all that stuff?
People can find me everywhere at Ronnie Boy Kids.
Everywhere.
Yeah, Ronnie Boy Kids. That's Spotify, that's Pandora, that's my website, ronnieboykids.com. That's Instagram, that's YouTube, anywhere and everywhere. I'm all over, man, on your screens. If you're subscribed to the Filipino channel,
Do it.
in the Philippines, I'm on there every Thursday. So, yeah, can't get rid of me.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And it's so cool. Like it's cool to see it growing and all the stuff moving forward with the things you're doing. So
word.
I'm happy for you.
Thanks,
Uh,
man.
and
Really.
thanks again for being on my show for the second time.
Hey,
See if we
we're
can
out
pull off
here.
a third one.
Hey,
Can't wait.
anytime. Yeah.
Can't wait to see you in Chicago.
I know, and it's like literally in like 2 weeks, man. 2 weeks and a few days, and
Did you decide the kind of food that you're gonna the what's the one food that you're gonna make sure you get for sure?
I've been asking for a lot of recommendations,
Mhm.
and people are saying everything from like pizza to, I think someone mentioned, did they say popcorn? I forgot, but like there's a
Uh,
lot of people who are
did
writing
they
things.
say puff? Pizza puff?
Yes, something like that.
Hmm.
Like I got like literally like so many comments from people,
Yeah,
but
Italian
there's like
beef.
there's dessert places. There's a Filipino spot that's out there that's
Mm.
like I think 15 minutes from my hotel, and so yeah, I want to check out like anything and everything and do the whole like architecture tour because supposedly that's really dope. And yeah, man, maybe even meet up with Little Miss Ann if she has time because she's from Chicago, and you know whoever, we'll see. You know.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, one of my friends, I work with a hip hop house party for ACL and stuff, and they're out of Chicago. So,
Uh,
like DJ Clay, he actually lives there, so I'm excited to see him too.
yeah,
But it's so nice to be able to like catch up with your friends in those situations.
absolutely.
I know last year I didn't actually get to go to any Boston places, so I want to try to go to at least to a Chicago. The only Boston thing I had was like a Maine lobster tail,
Mm.
a lobster po' boy or a lobster roll, but it was in the airport because it was the
Uh,
only. Oh my only! I was like, I'm not leaving here without getting something Boston.
I didn't even get to explore Boston either because I went straight from the airport to the hotel and then back. But
Hmm.
then, actually, I did stop by New York after Boston, and I did visit like other children's musicians as well. So I met up with Hopalong Andrew. I met up with Davey and Peter. I met up with my voiceover agent. I did like some acting thing while I was out there too. And so like, yeah, it was dope. It was dope to meet some New York like children's musicians and stuff, man.
Was it? I also am a. I enjoy. Have you ever listen? Have you ever listened to true crime novels or read true crime novels?
Yeah, one of my roommates does. I don't personally. Because I just don't. I'm always just working on music, and
Sure.
yeah.
But one true crime novel is called Devil in the White City, and
Uh,
it's actually about the America's first serial killer,
yeah.
and the World's Fair in Chicago. And
Mm,
so I kind of want to go to the park that still has some of the buildings from the World's Fair.
sweet.
And so, but because of my nerdiness in
Yeah.
that situation, I'm like, oh, they always say they're going to do a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, but
Yeah.
I'm not waiting. It was a cool book.
Do what you want to do,
Anyways,
man. We out there, bro. I'm gonna hit up the bean, like all that.
oh yeah, do all those fun things. I
All of it.
wouldn't. I'd love to go see a Cubs game, but that's not going to happen.
I was thinking
But
about that too. So since I'm getting there a little early, maybe I will. I'll check out their schedule.
are you going Friday too? Are you doing the Old
No,
Town Road
I
thing?
am gonna do that. I'm getting there Monday, so
Oh
I'm getting there
wow,
like
you're early,
yeah,
early.
yeah. I'm getting there 4 days before. Like my flight doesn't land until the afternoon. But yeah, I'll be there. I'll probably go to like go to a bar, go to
Hmm.
a restaurant Monday night, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm just do it all. The
That's so
tours,
cool,
the
man.
eating, hopefully exercising as well because I don't want to just be eating the whole time. But
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Yeah, no, understandable. Sorry, I'm laughing because this week my son was like, "Daddy, I want some chocolate," and I was like, "Buddy, if you get chocolate, you're gonna look like me." And he goes, "That's why I'm only gonna feed you broccoli from now on, Dad."
Oh, your son got jokes. That's funny. But hey, he's just looking out for you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, on a daily basis, he's like, "Dad, do you really need to eat that cheesecake, dude?"
Hey, health is wealth, but it's also nice to eat sweets every once in a while, just like my song "Sweet Tooth" featuring Davey and Peter, or I'm featured on their song. But it's about that thing, delicious sweets, but it's cool to have in moderation.
All right, so now it's time. I've stalled enough. It's time. Oh wait, am I not ready for the button? Now it's time for the rap.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, I'm worried about the levels, so I'm gonna do some tests real quick before we start.
Go for it.
Um,
I'll wave at you if it's way too high, but
yes,
if it's
please.
right, I'll go like this.
I learned this lesson a few episodes ago. My friends who were rappers were like, "Dude, you're off," and I was just like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll fix it."
It's
So,
okay.
but first we'll start the beat at the stage. It was already there the whole time. And how long is this song? The song is. This is something I should always check to see how long it is. It's 4 minutes, so there's no way I'm going to go that whole. I could, but that chorus seems really long, so we'll see how it goes. But all right, here we go with the beat. How's it looking right now?
I might get it in my mouth, Joe. I'm trying to
How about now? Is that better or not?
Yeah,
better?
it's perfect. Perfect.
All right.
see.
So many times we get in trouble and things don't work out the way we expect. But I've learned this lesson so many times. And here's a love story about my life and how I learned.
Might get it in my mouth, Joe. I'm trying to
love with a rapping kid, a white dude from Pflugerville. I gotta give it in. I wasn't chilling, but I'm doing what I do again. And she was beautiful and black, and I was living in. I was like, ooh, hey girl, you love hip hop? She was like, I do a lot. And I was like, I am a rapper, will you fall in love with me? And we did. We held hands, walked across the sea. It was amazing, only if I couldn't say it's all the same. She was so amazing, she was always in my brain. And we were talking about hip hop all the time. Even went to a Arrested Development concert in Fine. But I messed up that one, and I got screamed at because I called her the wrong name. I can't explain that, and only if it was something that I still can't say. We'll just say I was talking about Aunt Jemima today. And anyway, I was messed up, I never get gone. But then I gotta say that I will overcome. But anyways, I'll tell you the next part. When I wait for the question in my heart, I got in trouble. But it changed who I be, you got in trouble. Yo, I didn't even see you in trouble. Yeah, but what happened next? Got in trouble. Then my heart was caressed. I said, got in trouble. But I never really seen got in trouble. And now I'm a different me. I got in trouble. I didn't expect to got in trouble. But I saw this rep. We became best friends. We had time together all the time. We were thinking, yeah, whatever. But your boy lost his job, and then lost his time. Then he lost his car, and then he lost his mind, and then he lost his house. He didn't even know. He's sitting there homeless, and he's about to lose control. And the only time he got to eat was because his girl gave him food. Then she broke up with him, and I was like, good, dude. You should break up with your dude if I was your best friend. And I was the best friend, so we broke up till the end. It was crazy, but this is what happened next. I was sitting back, and then I started flexing. We broke up, but then I started liking her friend. And next thing I know, I told her I never loved her at all. And she cried for a long time. She almost punched me and gave me a black eye. But okay, I didn't understand it, bro. I didn't understand my words and actions and glow. Didn't know that I didn't say the thing I think. Didn't understand that I couldn't drink. I didn't. Should've just never told her that thing. Because I always loved her and always wanted to scream. Without her, I wouldn't be following hip-hop. I knew that one thing would never stop. The sad part is it took like a year for me to figure this out. Maybe 2 years. That's a dumb scout. And I don't even know where I could be all the same. I remember this one girl I liked and she was, hey, she didn't love hip-hop. She liked me. And she was like, hey, yes, now you gotta see. And then I was like, hey, I don't love you either. And then I messed up. I got a teeter. I went back to my homegirl and I said, you know, I messed up. I gave it in. I learned that my words had actions and all my phrases. And then the girl liked me in a ways. Hey, then that got me close to my wife, and now I'm married, got some kids, keeping it tight. And anyways, back to the chorus. I keep it away, but I know I got in trouble almost every other day. Got in trouble, but it changed who I am. I got in trouble. I seen his plan. I got in trouble, but now I'm a different guy. I got in trouble, so I gotta really fly. I got in trouble in so many ways. I got in trouble. Love still find me anyways. Got in trouble, and I still apologize for all the people I hurt for being stupid. I got in trouble. That was me. I got in trouble, but I still didn't see. Got in trouble. Yeah, that was the same. Only if I couldn't take it forever with my brain.
Hey, that was dope, man. I really like the flow right there. I was following your story, meeting the chicks, not liking hip hop, and going what? And
Yeah.
I liked it, man. That was dope.
Yeah,
Really good
I,
hook,
it
everything.
was my fault. I had to rush the ending, so I kind of messed up on my flow for a little bit. But no, that's actually real life. Like, it's so funny. Like, the idea of that, because it's like learning that. Like, I had to learn that as a kid. Like, you know, you can always say things like, you know, like in that situation. Like, I have this amazing girlfriend. We broke up, and then I liked your friends, and then I was like, you know what? I didn't really like you because I didn't want it to be weird, right? Because we were still friends.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, I never really loved you, which wasn't true, right? Because I definitely loved her. I
Yeah.
moved to San Antonio for her, and I still live here to this day.
Wow.
And so it's so funny how those things work. And then I had to realize it. And then I liked this other girl.
Yeah.
She thought I had given up on rapping, and so she was like, she liked me. She knew when I was a kid, and now she knows me. She's like, I like this dude. Started liking me, and then she realized I was pursuing hip hop still. And
Yeah.
she goes, I no longer like you, and
Oh.
I don't want to date you at all. And I was like, ugh, you
Bro.
know. And but then I went back, and then that's when I learned. My friend brought it up to me. Was like, why do you say things? And so when that happened, then I go, you know what? Truthfully, I never liked you anyways. To the girl that didn't like hip hop. And then I was talking to somebody else, and they were like, "Do you do this all the time?" And I was like, "I have. Almost every relationship I try to destroy, even if it went well, even ended well."
Yeah.
And it's like I had to realize that I needed to be different. And because of those things, the hilarious part is the girl that didn't like hip hop is the person that introduced me to my wife.
Ah. So she was still nice, even though you was mean.
Well, actually, we were. This sounds more messed up than it really is, but we were actually on she was a double date of ours when I was on a date with a non-love hip hop girl.
Yeah.
My double was her and a dude.
Oh.
But that's when I first met her. But they were friends, and so it wasn't a big deal.
I got you.
But yeah, so it's funny
how things work out, man. You know.
Yeah, but there you go. There's my song. Thank you for making me be serious on this record, on this podcast.
It's fun. It's fun to do different things, man, and just to challenge yourself and do something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It's fun. I said I love. It's always more in a cipher. If everybody's feeling it, then I'll do those kind of things where I just tell this like real story, and people are like crying, like, hey, that was dope, and I'm like, yeah, no, I can tell you the whole story. It's no big deal.
Listen. When people tell personal stories, it's much more meaningful, and people, like you said, will tune in much more than if you were just spitting bars about some random topic. You know, sometimes you could spit some really hot bars and people will pay attention to it, but when it's a personal story, people could feel it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I did my record, my last album, the way I did it was because I wanted almost all my songs come from a personal place. And I think even if you didn't know me, you could feel it. You know, just listen to the tracks. You know, so
yeah. That's so cool. Thank you again for being on the show, Ronnie Boy. I am very grateful to just hang out with you and have a fun talk.
Yeah.
And I hope you enjoyed making this song. What I've been doing lately is cleaning it up and releasing it for the next week. So we'll see if I actually do that.
Yeah.
So if I do, I'll make sure I let you know so you can check out the real story.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for listening. If you are listening to this show on the podcast and you're like, this sounds cool. You know, on Mondays, we actually do this live. Oh, Tuesdays. I messed it all up. We do this live on Facebook, on Twitch, on other places, YouTube, there it is. And come watch us. It's at 8 p.m. CST. Would love to have you in the comments. Make sure nobody got on the comments while I was... Oh, somebody came on the comments and I didn't even... It was you.
Oh, it was just me.
Hey, there's this wonderful guy named Ron Neri Jr. He says, yeah.
Yeah.
Could you give him a shout out for us just so he knows that you saw his comment?
Hey, Ron Neri Jr., you're the man. Thank you for tuning in, brother.
And so, but yeah, make sure you check that out. Again, the podcast usually comes out every Wednesday, so please check that out. And he was really excited about you responding to him, so that's really nice of you.
You're welcome, Ron.
I love how you're there for your fans at all.
You got to. You got to be, man.
You know, here's a dumb thought process. Like, do you think Superman ever considered being Clark Kent in the audience of the Superman thing? Because he could move super fast, right? So he could, in theory, like bend to get water and then jump over by Lois Lane and be like, "What's this dude about?" And then slide back. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe it's crossed his mind once or twice. Who knows, man?
I don't know. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, man, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you everybody for watching the show. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're slowly building up our subs. My son is determined for me to get to 100,000 subscribes. We're not close to that. So, but every day, Ronnie Boy, every day my son comes to me and he goes, "Dad, you need to do some meme reacts." This week I did a live stream, a Fortnite live stream because he made me. It wasn't because I wanted to. He just said, "Dad, you need to do a live stream." And then he was very sad that nobody watched my live stream. I was like, that's how it works. It's like, I'm not going to get on the live stream and 500,000 people are going to just start watching me.
Right.
It's not how these things work.
Yeah, you know, but you build everything, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know where I was going to be when I first started 2 years ago with this whole kids journey, you know? So keep doing you and eventually people will tune in. Your audience will find you, you know?
Yeah. Well, I love his heart to want to help. And so my friend was like, "Are you using his ideas?" And I'm like, "I have to." You know, he's throwing all these ideas out, especially as an idea person. Like, I'd be a pretty whack dad if I didn't just listen to him and just did the stuff. It's like, if he wants, because he loves showing me off, right? We'll be at things and he'll be like, "Oh, did you see my dad's podcast?" or whatever the situation is.
Cute.
I'm not that awesome, bro, but thank you. Like, his principals came up to me and was like, "Hey, can we get you to come to the thing?" Just because of my son's promotion of me, not even my own promotion. They're
Sweet.
like, "We heard you're a YouTuber," and I'm like,
Hey.
sure. I'm not
Hey.
a Ronnie Boy YouTuber. But
Hey, one, I think you are awesome, and two, you're awesome to him, to your son, you know, and that's all that matters, man. So
yeah, that's all. Yeah, I mean, that's my only plan. Just to be the best dad as I humanly can be.
there you go, man.
Thank you again for being on the show. Thank you everybody for watching the show. We'll see you next week. We have a really fun guest, which would be really fun. I wish I had the information in my head, but I do not. So you just have to. I'll have some promos up so you can figure out who they are and how awesome they are. Again, I'm booked like until the end of October, so I have tons of I have tons of space. No space, so that's pretty cool. We have a guest every weekend, except for like I think September 24th. We won't have a show because I'll be at the online version of the children's conference, and I want to go check a children's music conference this year, and so they have a really good class I want to go to, and I'm not going to try to do the show and the class, so because I can do what I want. But thank you guys. Thank you, Ronnie Boy. I hope y'all have a great day. Ronnie Boy, stay on the line after I do this outro,
Sure.
so I could say bye, and thank you everybody else, and then thank you, Ron, for being in the comments and just watching the whole show. I appreciate that. You are an amazing. I mean, in theory, you did watch the whole show.
Best fan ever, bro.
I should do the same. Jason Riley says, "What's up?"
Hey.
That's so funny. Oh, you know what? Just for fun, Ron Neri Jr., you have won the award for the best fan this week, so you're a winner, and you get my son's design golden donut.
Hey.
So enjoy.
Coolest donut ever, man.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he wants merch, so he wants me to make a golden donut plushie.
Yeah. Tight.
Do you have any plushies yet? Is that a thing yet?
I do not have any plushies yet. Yeah, but
all you have is hats and.
I have hats and shirts. I think eventually, like if my brand were to be, you know, bigger, I probably would try to get a Funko toy, which would be kind of cool.
Wouldn't that be sweet?
Funko Pop. I think that's what they call them, right?
Yeah, that's what they call them, Funko Pops.
Yeah,
Anyways, make sure, guys, you go check out the new Ronnie Boy Land album. You go check it out on Spotify, anywhere. Go to his website. Buy that junk. Are you on Bandcamp? Do you got a Bandcamp there?
I do not use Bandcamp, man. My stuff's just everywhere else.
Oh man,
you know?
I understand. I was trying to give them love for the Fridays, tax-free Fridays. So
I appreciate it.
But don't go to Bandcamp because he's not on there, guys. So don't do that. Go everywhere else and get the record.
My music's free everywhere. Free 99, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. If you want to buy it on iTunes, you sure can, and it would help. Or if you wanted to Cash App me, like my Cash App is on Spotify. I don't really promote it, but if you ever wanted to donate it, it's all appreciated. And if not, it's all good too, you know.
I always laugh at that. Like I released an album like in 2007, and was my first album, and literally just like 6 months ago, I just got a random sale out of nowhere.
Hey.
What's happening?
You see, you know what I mean? If you don't put it up there, you know, like you don't make anything, you know? So, yeah.
But anyways, thank you guys. Thank you, Ronnie Boy. Have a great, great night. And I will see you next Tuesday at 8 p.m. CST. Peace.
Ronnie Boy.
Are you looking for a different kind of podcast? How about informative and clean? It will make you laugh. Scout and Trey, yeah, that's what we do. We got a little funny thing, keeping it true. Hey, we take your topics and all your ideas and bring in a guest and we answer them there. Then we make a freestyle rap and do it for you. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. Yep, flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows.